Why is it so hard to make friends abroad? Um, a lot of people ask this. Like, to be honest, it's one of the topics that comes very often into the podcast. Making friends when you're living abroad, it's difficult. And it's most of the times not because the people of where you are moving to or you move to are unfriendly or they don't want to connect because you're a foreigner. The reality is that friendships uh, are difficult when you are coming to a new place because the people who is there already have a history. They already have their environment set up. Uh, Even if they are like locals or other expats, whatever, normally you are entering and you are going from zero, you're starting from zeros while they already have a circle. So you're kind of entering their circles of friendship. At the same time, it's very difficult because friendship is uh, really what normally makes a place livable. It's not really the job. It's not everything. It's like the people that are surrounds you. That could be your partner, but also your friends. That really makes you like enjoy a place more or less. Like the whole capacity of constructing a circle. It's important, super important. And without noticing in your home, you actually done that naturally because the process of life it's that no, and most of the places that you have entered to, you can say school, first job, university, whatever. When you enter there, there is at least a certain amount of people around you that are in the same stage, so they are also starting from zero. When you do that, going to a place that it's not new for everyone, um, entering to these circles as I was saying, and like becoming part of the people who's living there for a long time and who have friends and they have their lives already established, it's much more difficult, of course. Of course, there is differences on cultural style and ways of socializing depending on where you are. That's also true. Like not every country and not every community and people uh, or culture treats socializing in the same way. That's for sure. Like in Germany, for example, for me, friendships took quite some time and consistency of working with them. And I had quite a lot of environment of other expats around me. And probably the connection with the locals took quite longer than I expected and I wanted to, but it arrived. It's a matter of like patience also. While, for example, in Greece, it came a little bit faster, but it went deeper, slower. Also, like it needed a lot of like day-to-day communication to become part of the Greeks, especially life, because of course they have already their life mounted. That already set their own circles are already there. Their structures and support it's already there. So you are entering their life. In Italy, also came relatively fast, but it's still a work in progress. So I will talk about it in another video, maybe. At the end, it's different places, different cultures, and different moments of your life that's also affecting it. Like making friends gets also more difficult as older you get. Like as your life advances, it's difficult to make friendships that are really true friendships and not only known people. And you notice that with age, like every year that it passes or every 5 years that it passes, it's difficult. And it's also important to try to find this connection with the people who is in the same stage of life as you are, because that's where the deeper connections of moment in life might come. There is a couple of things also that I think expats underestimate that are important. One is the fact that proximity doesn't equal connection. You can meet a lot of people and still feel alone. As I said, with age, connections take longer, and making deep friends take more time and more effort on your side and working on these relationships. It also means that not everyone that you meet is actually a friend. It's just like, as I said, this proximity doesn't mean that you are really connecting with that person. And I've seen that in a little bit of like the expat groups, for example, that they or these meetups where people meet and see each other once every 2 weeks or one every week, whatever, and they are the same amount of people. but they keep going to the same meetings and the conversations are relatively the same. So is it really creating a connection there, or you're just going into that because you are not like really fitting with this exact person? So that goes a little bit into the direction of the second point that I want to point out for the expats out there, or for people who is trying to move abroad. One of the biggest mistakes that I've seen, it's expats having only expat friends. At the end, what is the point of like going to a new country if you don't connect with the people of that place at all? Um, it's I don't know, I don't get it, but at the same time, I think for me it's super important to learn how to balance your circle of friends between fellow expats, which is important to have them because they probably pass through similar experiences like you, and they probably can help you with bureaucracy that a local, for example, hasn't passed because they had it done from birth. And they never pass through the same bureaucracy that you will pass. It's important to have these connections, but it's super important also to have locals in your life that, I don't know, they can help you with finding resources. They can translate for you. They can help you, and I don't know, like have this perspective from their own culture and try to learn from a local person. That's also super important. One last balance point that I always see missing, because this discussion is quite typical, no? Like more expat friends or more local friends. For me, this should be more or less a balance. It's okay that you have both, and both will bring you an interesting perspective on your life abroad. Third one for me, it's kind of interesting to have. It's having someone from the same home country as you, and that's basically just to keep your roots and this connection with home, even if it's only from a language perspective. It's nice that sometimes you can steam out, or you can talk with someone on your own mother tongue. No, let's say like this. So I always add this third pillar, let's say like this, to the social circle that I find important. And the last one, a crucial one, I would say, on my own journey as a foreigner, it's the power of meeting people through hobbies. Now I go back to this connection versus proximity. When you do things such as like team sports, I don't know, art lessons, trekking groups, whatever, so on, you are meeting people who shares not only the fact that you are there, that's it, or we are going for a drink. You share a hobby, and it's, from my own experience, by far the best way of meeting people abroad, and the best way of connecting with people who has a similar mentality to you, or at least you have already one point in common or one connection that you can talk about. So if you are trying to make friends abroad, I would definitely recommend finding a hobby in a group, and try to make that hobby a routine, and that way establish connections. So to try to summarize a little bit, friendships abroad take longer. Doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong. Let's say like this. It means that you're rebuilding something meaningful that you had at home, more or less naturally. Now you're needing to do it in a more slow and with more effort and more patience. And with age, as I said, it takes more time also. One last recommendation, it's like that if you're currently living abroad and you're a foreigner and you're new in a country, first of all, of course, don't give up. Like there is matching people for everyone, everywhere, that's for sure. And in the meantime, remember that actually we are lucky enough that technologies has arrived to a point that it allows you to connect with the people back home. So maintain that support back there. And if you are interested, for example, on meeting people through technologies, applications, and the whole technological part, that also exists. I actually have a video about this with the best applications to meet people abroad and to make friends abroad. If you want, you can check it up here, and it will be in the description box, so you can go on there and check some of the applications that work for me to meeting people. But yeah, with that said, I would love to hear your experiences making friends abroad. Leave it in the comments below and explain how did you met friends, and how was the first months, years of living abroad, and how did you make these connections. Again, this is a topic that comes up into the podcast a lot. Guests talk openly about this struggle, and you are definitely not alone in it. Like, it's a very recurrent topic on how to make friends and the difficulty of connecting between foreigners and locals, on expats with expats. So if you're interested in other stories regarding this and real stories of people living abroad, you can check out the podcast here. And if you like it, don't forget to subscribe, and this way you will stay tuned with all the bi-weekly episodes of the podcast and these videos that will come also bi-weekly.